everyone. It's week 6 of the CAA football season. I'm Carly Smith here with Rob Washburn, bringing you 3 things to watch. First, you know the drill. Quite a few teams making noise over the weekend. How about Maine knocking off number 21 UAlbany on the road? That's a gritty performance. You've got William and Mary, Delaware, Monmouth, and Kimball all putting up some serious offensive numbers. Rob, what'd you see?
Yeah, since you hit on the big offensive performances, let me give some love to the defenses. Richmond forced 3 turnovers, including a pick 6, and recorded 3 sacks in a CAA road win at Elon. Stony Brook held Morgan State to 259 yards and only 3 points to get its 4th straight victory. And Villanova held LIU to 26 yards in the first half and 178 for the game in a 24-10 triumph. It was a great week in CAA on both sides of the ball.
All right, now we flip over the calendar month to October football. And Rob, I know that you don't always peg me as a pumpkin spice kind of guy, of course, but I do know that you love this month because conference play totally ramped up. So our first thing to watch features Delaware at Monmouth. Let's talk about it. Statistically, it's the league's best offense, and the Hawks going up against the best defense. Delaware, Derek Robertson, leads all of FCS and the CAA in passing yards, but the Blue Hens are coming off a shutout last week. So Rob, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, Carly, you set the stage for this game perfectly. Monmouth is the top offensive team in FCS, averaging 44 points and 524 yards per game. Quarterback Derek Robertson threw for over 350 yards and multiple TDs in the first 4 games. And when faced with a driving rainstorm last week against Fordham, the Hawks turned to the rushing attack and piled up 407 yards on the ground, with 3 backs going over 100 yards for the first time in program history. On the other side is a Delaware defense that is giving up only 13 points and 276 yards per game after holding Sacred Heart to 129 yards and recording its first shutout since the 2021 spring season. On top of that, the Blue Hens have forced at least 2 turnovers in each game, making 15 sacks and 27 tackles for loss. This will be a fascinating chess match between 2 of the top offensive and defensive teams in FCS football.
Let's hear what Delaware's Ryan Carty and Monmouth's Kevin Callahan had to say about Saturday.
It's the best offense in the country. And so, we have a chance to go out there and, I think it'll be a chance for our defensive guys to go get a challenge and a test.
When you watch them on tape, they're very deep and they're very talented on all 3 levels. So they present some challenge because of their athleticism and their depth. And they employ a scheme that you don't see every day.
Catch that game at 1 p.m. on Flow Football and NBC Sports Philadelphia. Okay, moving on to our second thing to watch. Number 6, Villanova at Stony Brook. Both teams are 4-1 to start the season. The Seawolves riding a 4-game winning streak, the program's longest since 2018. Villanova just won their 19th straight non-conference game against LIU on Saturday. They're so consistent. What do you expect to see on Long Island, Rob?
Yeah, to me, Stony Brook is one of the great stories in FCS football this season. This team was 0-10 a year ago and was picked to finish last in the CAA preseason poll, but under first-year coach Billy Kosh, they are playing with a ton of confidence and learning how to win. Offensively, they rely on a powerful rushing attack led by Roland Dempster, who has rolled up over 150 yards and multiple touchdowns in 3 of the past 4 games. The Seawolves defense has also been solid, allowing less than 13 points against their 4 FCS opponents. Now on the other side is a Villanova program that has captured CAA titles in 2 of the past 3 years, and is the preseason favorite to do it again in 2024. The Wildcats feature the league's preseason offensive player of the year in multi-talented quarterback Connor Watkins and a stable of talented freshman running backs. The Villanova defense has a ton of experience and is surrendering less than 11 points per game to its FCS opponents while forcing 8 turnovers. It should be an excellent matchup on Long Island.
Now let's hear from Villanova's Mark Ferrante and Stony Brook's Billy Kosh.
A lot that concerns me about the opponent. They got the leading rusher in the league. They got a young quarterback who seems to be, understanding what they're wanting to do and distributing the ball really well.
It's been good so far, but we know this week this is a heck of a challenge. Just, a really good FCS team we're playing right now, and it's going to be a great benchmark for us to see where we are and what we need to get better at, and where we are as a university, as a program.
That game airs at 3:30 p.m. on Saturday on Flow Football. Okay, on to our nightcap and our third thing to watch. Towson hosts William and Mary for another competitive CAA showdown. William and Mary's coming off of a dominant 49-7 win over in-state rival Hampton. The Tiger squad should be well rested and ready to go after the bye week. This is the third consecutive ranked FCS opponent Towson will face this season. Pete Shinnick's squad, we know they're tough. They don't back down from any challenge. So Rob, what are you on the lookout for?
Yeah, William and Mary might have played its most complete game of the season last week against Hampton. The Tribe offense piled up an incredible 632 yards, including 434 on the ground, and their defense held the Pirates to 214 yards and pitched a shutout over the final 3 quarters. Now, we all know how good the rushing attack is with quarterback Darius Wilson and running backs Bronson Yoder and Malachi Emo. When they are rolling, William and Mary controls the ball and the clock, which makes it tough on opponents. Now, as you said, nobody in FCS has played a more challenging schedule than Towson, and the Tigers have been in one-score games in the second half against Cincinnati, Villanova, and North Dakota State. Towson has a strong running game with Devin Matthews and can get yards through the air with tight end Carter Runyon. Now, the Tigers' defense has shown their ability, holding Villanova to 14 points and Morgan State to just 9. 1 year ago, William and Mary built a 17-0 lead on Towson, but the Tigers controlled the ball for 24 minutes in the second half and came away with a 34-24 win. Look for time of possession to be a big stat for both teams on Saturday.
Big stat, for sure. Okay, let's hear from William and Mary's Mike London and Towson's Pete Shinnick.
Over the last few games, we're playing better with the corrections going into halftime. But those things are going to be, like I said, critically important as you get now into the other part of the CAA season. It's going to be important for us to do the same, playing against this Saturday's team up there at Towson.
Man, I think they ran 6, trick plays against Coastal Carolina. So there's always a reverse that's going to happen. There's always a double pass that's going to happen. So they really keep you off balance. And they really make you play the entire field.
Kickoff is at 6 p.m. in Towson, Maryland. You can watch this game on Monumental Sports Network and Flow Football. Plenty of other exciting matchups this week, in addition to some Friday night lights as New Hampshire plays Harvard on October 4th. Check out the full Week 6 schedule right now. From Rob and I, thanks so much for tuning in to another week of 3 Things to Watch. Follow along on social media at CAA Football. And for results, recaps, and much more, visit CAAfootball.com. Enjoy.